Chapter 13. He did it without even thinking about it. The voice commanded him hypnotically. His lips chanted the words Cthulhu whispered to him. Magic flowed out of him. Inside of his mind, the distractions implanted were pleasantries he was not used to. Women clung to his body, felt him, touched him, and groped him everywhere. He saw the spell come from himself, but it felt so far away. His hands extended out, but it felt like a dream. His senses, outside of these pushed thoughts, were dull and diluted. What? He did not know how to form the question. His head shook slowly from side to side. What am I? He wanted to add, but the word didn't come out. He shook his head some more. He focused on the red sphere, which never left his vision. 89% remained. Where did such a large chunk go? The women slowly vanished, ceasing their distraction. He looked down. What have I done? Below on the ground, the SWAT team had been overrun by the undead. Far more ran around than before. It was too late. He couldn't stop himself, and he knew that he could not reverse what has just happened. He closed his eyes, envisioning the whole planet. He ceased his flight, landing on the ground. The hordes of undead ignored him. After all, they were his creations. A woman screaming caught his attention. He looked to the alley to see Rachael surrounded by those things. They moved to attack her. Thyme waved his hands, causing them to explode as he ran to her. When he arrived, she was already bruised and beaten. She was half dead. He bent down and held her in his arms, crying. She coughed. You did this. I'm sorry. His apology was genuine, but did nothing to alter her expression. You turned me into a freak. She would scream if she could, but her collapsed lungs wouldn't let her. I saved your life. It cost me everything. Please just let me die. I led a good life until you did what you did. Her callous tone was too much. Why did you do it? You spent your whole life never giving up on me. How can I possibly let you die? His words were on dead ears. She died in his arms. Magic swelled inside of him as a spell automatically formed to match his desire. Thyme shook his head and held back the magic. No, I can only make it worse. Tears fell from his cheeks, landing on her. His eyes shot open, revealing a deadness. They were solid white, empty of all life. She growled. Only at this moment did he fully understand where 10% of his magic went. Death has been perverted. Cthulhu has willed that all dead things immediately come back as a nightmare, and he used Thyme as his conduit. Thyme pointed at the squealing corpse that was his sister. He pushed out a combination of a spell that pieced together necromancy combined with Azothoth, utilizing a small fragment of nightmare. He brought cognition to this ghoul he held in his arms. Rachael blinked. Her face returned to a scowl. She pushed Thyme away. You did this to me, she shouted with a guttural voice. I won't let you die, he retorted. I will never forgive you for this time. You are no brother of mine. He slowly stood up, still crying. He turned around and shuffled his feet forward. He saw straight ahead, just past the parking lot, was the blue bubble. Inside that bubble he saw Lazir and the remaining good wizards. Thyme wiped away his tears, even though more formed. He pointed to the sky and commanded rain to fall, knowing full well it would probably cause some kind of flood and kill more people. He didn't care. The world would cry with him. He twisted space and took one step forward, then was suddenly directly in front of the magical blue bubble. He waved his hand, exploding every ghoul attacking it. Rachael was standing next to him, an unknown side effect of raising her for a second time. She was tethered to him and will haunt him for the rest of his life. Why did you do this? Thyme asked. You're doing this, one of the good wizards shouted. I'm not talking to you, Thyme screamed. He pointed directly at Lazir. Answer me. He's the only one keeping us alive, you bastard. He's playing you. Lazir let out a laugh. The surviving good wizards looked up to the tall Lazir. His face flushed, something different and dark. The magical blue bubble faded away. Rachael's brother has undone our protection. No, he hasn't. I have, Lazir said. The men backed away. While their bodies were more comfortable having a bit of room, this was far more unnerving. Raziel, why? Thyme asked. Ah, so you can see me. Lazir's left half flashed to look like Raziel. You aren't a half-angel. Are angels even real? Raziel laughed. Would you honestly want them to be? How are you able to use good magic? What are you really? You already know who I really am. Go on, say my name. Thyme narrowed his eyes, scolding the being before him. His lips whispered, Nyarathotep. I do love the sound of my own name. Half of the good wizards ran away. The other half were too dumbfounded and confused to move. The ones that ran were killed right away by ghouls. How have you casted good magic? A wizard demanded with a raised fist. Nyarathotep held out a hand. Shh, the adults are talking. The wizard was engulfed in a tangible darkness. His screams echoed. Fine, I'll ask. How have you casted good magic? Thyme spoke each word slowly. The evil god pointed at a chair to his left and curled his finger in a come here gesture. The chair obeyed and slid to him. He sat down, relaxed in the chair, making himself comfortable. He cleared his throat, then jumped up, swinging his arm, knocking the chair over. There is so much you do not understand, boy. Why would Gaia tolerate you on this planet? Gaia is the planet, it said. So? The planet is not a thinking entity. It has no thoughts, no consciousness. It's all lava down there, not brains, you know. Philomenia is guile, Rachael commented. That doesn't make any sense. Their magic comes from Gaia. Thyme pointed at the few remaining good wizards. Correct. They serve Gaia. Their magic does good things. Nyarathotep chuckled. Their magic should not be theirs. Think about it, Thyme. Their magic comes from the planet, which means the magic has less magic. Which means... Oh my god. You created the good wizards. The god of darkness nodded. You made them to weaken the planet, to make it vulnerable. We can't come here unless the planet is too weak to stop us. But you're here now. I'm an avatar of Nyarathotep. I or he managed to put a piece of himself into an unborn child. Trust me, that wasn't easy. After that, I was able to do the same thing to make those warlocks. He paused, eyes getting excited. Say, I think you're the last warlock. Those 5, he pointed to the good wizards, they're the last fairies. But, what was the whole point? He frowned, disappointed, then sighed. You honestly haven't figured that out yet? To bring this earth to me and my siblings. You know Cthulhu, Hastur, Yogsothoth, and yours truly. When Cthulhu tried to come here with all bluster and brashness, thinking he could just Walk on in. The earth swallowed him whole, and still has him slumbering. Yogsothoth, however, had a much better plan to use magic. I tweaked his plan a little and made the earth drain itself into you humans. Then you fools continually use magic as often as possible under the guise of doing good works for one another. Why? Why the earth? There has to be trillions of other planets just as good, if not better. Nyarathotep waved his hand dismissively. Oh, we already have those. Yes, it's true, this planet is nothing special. It is simply one we don't have, and that's a good enough reason. Put you in our little collection. I am powerful enough to destroy you with a thought. That jar, boy, that jar. He picked up the chair and wiped it twice, then sat down on it. But that would only destroy this flesh. You can't stop us using our power. You talk a lot about yourself, Cthulhu, Hastur, and Yogsothoth. Yes, well, we're gods. We are entitled to a little ego boost from time to time. What about the other one? The sleeping idiot god? What about him? He's about as useful as a fly swatter for picking up dirt. It was Thyme's turn to smile. Oh, finally stopped crying, I see. Well, have you decided it was best to just do what I say? I mean, you could very easily join us. The power you have would have you proper for being Cthulhu's, or even my right-hand man. See, I even called you man just now. You need me to perform the summoning spell, don't you? Well, yes, but like with the planetary undead spell Cthulhu had you do, we don't really need your permission to make you do our bidding, especially since you did invite him into yourself against Hastur. He stood up, extending his hand to Thyme. So, what do you say, man? Ready to join the big boys in ruling the universe? Philomenia is Gaia, Rachael repeated. Thyme pushed his hand away, then took hold of Rachael and teleported away. Nyarathotep's eyes widened with shock and surprise. What? Jake Man stumbled to his feet. He pointed at the avatar. What in the hell is going on? What the hell are you? The god of darkness smiled. His arm impossibly stretched to Jake, wrapping around him multiple times, and then pulled the human close to him. With an unnaturally wide grin, his dark lips pressed into his ear as he whispered, Let's go find out. You get a front row seat to the end of the story. End of chapter 13.